Welcome everyone to What Do You Do with a BA in Theater, a film series sponsored by Dallas Summer Musical's Education and Community Partnerships Department. My name is Johnson, and I'll be your host for this series. What Do You Do with a BA in Theater is a series where we interview people with BAs in theaters and other BAs in different areas and talk about their experience both in the theater world and in the outside world, what their jobs are like in both, and how they kind of help each other out. So before we get started, I just want to remind everyone to follow the CDC's instructions, social distance as much as possible. We are roommates, so this social distance is okay, but out there, please make sure you're being safe, wash your hands, and take appropriate precautions. All right, and now let me introduce Mandy. Mandy, if you want to just go ahead and say your name, what you do, where you went to school.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mandy Reichelt. I am an actor primarily in theater, and then I am a library associate with the city at Dallas Public Library. I'm actually in staff training, and I went to school at Texas A&M University.
Awesome. So what has your career path been like getting to where you are as a library associate, and then also on the flip side, how has your career as an actor progressed since graduating from A&M?
Yeah, so my first job out of college actually wasn't in the libraries. I worked at a high school as a college advisor, and then from there I moved to the public service side at the library. So if you ever go into a library and you see the staff that are answering questions and helping people find books, that's what I did for a while. Then I got this position and I moved into staff training. So I work with people across the whole library system and develop training for them. And that has been really fun and also allowed me to bring in my theater experience more. It's more public speaking, a lot of teamwork, and also just developing relationships with people, which theater people are really good at. As an actor here, I, after school, just moved straight to Dallas, so I've been acting here and there in the area, and I also help run Flexible Gray Theater Company, so I've been doing that too.
Awesome. So what has been the most kind of useful tool as an actor that you've taken with you into these various jobs? And then vice versa too, like what have you learned from these positions that have helped you in the theater world?
Yeah, I think I've been able to use my skills from acting to sell myself, first of all. Well, not first, but that's one of the really important things that I've learned how to do. I can talk about my experience as a team player because of working on productions from a lot of different angles. I can talk about what that means and also what experience I have talking with people. So that's really what I've been able to bring in to my position currently. And then of course just public speaking. The first time that I did a presentation with new hires, the person who was handing it off to me said that it was like I'd been doing it forever. And I said, thanks, my degree's in talking. Which, obviously it's more than that. But I found that to be really useful in both environments. I also have, as we talked about a little bit, I have a general degree, so I learned different angles of production and had to come at it that way. So since I don't have a BFA, I've actually found my generalist theater degree to be useful in that and in talking about teamwork and production. And then as far as bringing my library experience into the theater world, I think just seeing different people's experiences in the day-to-day and getting to be around a lot of different types of people and work with different types of people has both given me perspective on thinking about humanity and, characters and things like that, but also working with difficult people sometimes in your professional life, and then when you go into theater in your other professional life, you encounter the same types of personalities sometimes. Yeah. And so that has informed my experience as well. Awesome.
So looking back, is there any advice that you have from these two jobs that you would like to give to either younger Mandy or to our audience members here who are watching this and thinking, how do I do this? How do I go from a high school theater career into a professional world? And can I do this? What kind of a day job or other job do I have to do to support myself? What does that look like?
Yeah. One thing from just a theater perspective that I would recommend, even if you get if you decide to get a more specialized theater degree, like maybe it's only a focus in performance, I would recommend trying to get experience on a crew or on a different side of a production, just because I think it makes you a better, more aware, more compassionate actor and makes you better to work with if you know what else is going on around you and you're not so focused on acting. And I think that those having different skills also helps you sell yourself professionally. So that's the main thing, I think, as far as getting a day job. If you want like a stable, not typical 9-to-5 kind of day job, if you don't want to do gig work, which there's nothing wrong with, but if you're looking for something more like what I do, learning what skills you have and figuring out how to sell that professionally. So like I talked about, spinning, acting as public speaking, as teamwork, as things like that, which you do, just learning what things to pick out of your arts experience to then tell your future employer that you're good at.
Yeah. So that communication is definitely key when looking for jobs, and making sure that people know that like what you do isn't just, for fun, because you'll get that a lot. But there's also a ton of uses for your arts degree. And even whether or not you get an arts degree or not, you can still pursue theater in the future. It's just coming at it in different angles, whether or not you want that training in advance, or if you want to get that training through the audition process and discovering yourself as an actor. You mentioned some of your experiences with Flexible Gray Theater Company. Can you talk about that, how that company was founded, and kind of what you started to do with the company?
Yeah, so I helped to found this theater company with you, actually, back in College Station. And so when we were in school, we started doing just productions on our own on kind of a small scale. And then we moved here and started developing it again. My technical title is literary manager, so I do a lot of reading. My BA is in English as well as theater. I forgot, I got a double major for a second. So I do a lot of that, and just working with new work is one of our big focuses is doing new work, and so that's been really exciting for us, and it's been really good but also difficult. We are running a tiny theater company, and it's a lot, and we do it mostly out of our apartment, but it has given me a lot more skills, I guess, and perspective on producing. So I didn't know a lot about that before, and I've had to learn it, and I think that has been useful in all areas of my life. But yeah, so I basically do a little bit of everything and help to get new work off the ground and going and part of the scene here in Dallas. So that's been exciting.
Yeah, I love that flow from like literary manager into working at the library as an associate there. Yes. I think that goes hand in hand really well, and I think that's a smart way of approaching that. It's like finding something that you are passionate about within both worlds and making sure you can pursue that. Because I myself have had a number of really crappy day jobs, and I can tell you, if you're not happy in one area, it bleeds over to your other area too. So you got to make sure that you're taking care of both sides of your craft while you're doing that. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Mandy, do you have any other final words that you would like to impart onto our youth and inspiring artists?
Man. Well, things are hard. You don't always get everything that you want immediately, but that's okay. And just keep working at it, and things will come eventually.
That is so true. Everyone's journey is different. Yes. And you need to figure out what your definition of success is, because it's completely different for everybody.
100%.
And it's super hard, and it's a lot harder said than done, or easier said than done. But as soon as you figure out what your version of success, as soon as you figure out what your version of success is, you can more easily pursue that goal, and it's less self-beating up and stuff like that. So you'll figure it out. We all do. But
you will.
Yeah, it's okay. You're going to be okay. Reach out, ask for help. Remember that DSM is a resource for you. If you need anything, please send us an email. We can definitely help you out. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And we'll see you next episode. Except, this is where we'll insert a musical guest. We actually have those now. It's incredible. So in all those past videos when I said I didn't know, I didn't, but now I do. And that's great. So we'll add that here.
sacred, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention's sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She's gone, but she used to be my love. And it's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips into a backboard and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you. You're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I'd give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending for that girl that I knew was reckless, just who gets hurt, who learns how to toughen up when she is used and gets abused by a man who can't love. And then she'll be stuck and be scared of the life that's inside her, growing stronger each day, till I finally remind her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone, but you used to be mine. Used to be mine. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine.
Awesome job. Thank you, musical guest. Thank you, viewers. I'm used to saying listeners because of podcasting. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Where's the off?